Before this video starts, I just want to give a massive shout out to all my channel members. If you want to receive a shout out, then become a channel member today and you'll be shown on screen like all these other channel members here. Anyways, enjoy the video. The Galaxy Gals, a ragtag group of cosmic warriors who, by using futuristic tech, take on the many evils of the world. Being one of the Uber sets, especially one where all the characters were women, has made this a rather popular set, but I was always curious to see who the favorites of the set were. For my 30,000 subscriber special, I had asked my viewers to rank their top 3 favorite Galaxy Gals and to give their reasons as to why they liked each unit. The scoring system worked as follows. A unit that was voted first was worth 3 points, a unit that was voted second was awarded 1.5 points, and third place was worth a single point. With 732 respondents, there is a wide range of opinions that all have accumulated into this single video. I will state now, if it isn't obvious yet, that this isn't an objective ranking of the Galaxy Gals, rather it is a simple gathering of people's opinions and this being ranked based on popularity. Also, every point mentioned in this video isn't any of my views, but rather the views of those who enjoy these Ubers. With that said, I want to say that if you thought this insight into the community's favorite Galaxy Gals is interesting, then be sure to like the video, and if this sort of popularity ranking idea is interesting, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, as these are all done as milestone events. Also, leave a comment down below on what your favorite Galaxy Gal is and why they are your favorite. With that out of the way, let's get to discussing each Galaxy Gal from least to most popular. For the least popular of the Galaxy Gals, we have Coppermine, only scoring 56 points. Coppermine is an anti-floating freezer and gains zombie targeting via Ultra Talents. Fans of Coppermine view her as an extremely underrated crowd control unit, especially with Ultra Talents. With max TBA reduction, she has 136% freeze uptime, allowing her to very easily stall most floating and zombie enemies. Compared to most other Ubers, her cooldown of 65 seconds is rather fast, and with cost down talents lowers her cost all the way down to only 2,970. Coppermine's mini surge allows her to extend her uptime further, or to snipe any sort of backliner floating or zombie enemy. Coppermine also has the ability to further boost her mini surge damage with attack orbs, as they work by a flat boost in damage. If a Coppermine user were to use 2 attack orbs, her mini surge damage can be boosted by nearly 12,000, giving a total damage output of 57,499 damage with the mini surge. While Coppermine isn't exactly the most favorite of the Galaxy Gals, fans of her appreciate what she does on the battlefield and is able to shine when being used. The newest member of the Galaxy Gals is Pegasa, who scored 59 points in total. Pegasa is a floating zombie weakener, having 90% uptime with weaken, and has a summon that allows her to slow everything on the field for 6 seconds, or 7.2 seconds with treasures. Pegasa, being the newest member of the Galaxy Gals, may be one of the reasons why she is so low, but for the Pegasa fans that are out there, enjoy her for quite a few reasons. The main thing being her design, as she is a form of disability representation with her prosthetic legs and her giant sci-fi wheelchair. Fans of her also enjoy her solid crowd control, with her having almost 100% uptime, allowing her to keep groups of floating and zombies at a near permanent weakened state, allowing your units to stay alive for a lot longer. Another aspect of her kit fans enjoy is the summon, as summon in general is a very powerful ability, allowing her to have a one-time damage bomb on top of a very solid slow time. While Pegasa may not have a lot of fans, Pegasa fans enjoy her for the reasons mentioned, and I definitely see her getting more fans when her true form drops in the future. At 10th place with 160.5 points is the Dynamic Twins of Twinstars. Twinstars is a rusher unit who deals massive damage against alien and black enemies while also sporting multi-hit. Fans of Twinstars have fond experiences of using them over the course of their Into the Future and Cats of the Cosmos journey due to them being able to rapidly deteriorate many alien enemies' health. Fans also enjoy their rapid multi-hit attacks, as this allows Twinstars to be an excellent juggler against black enemies, a trait known for their rather high knockback counts. When it comes to design, fans enjoy the design origins of and Some Buddhist statues that came in pairs would have one mouth open and one mouth closed. The most basic sound an open mouth would make is and the most basic sound a closed mouth would make is This design origin aspect is featured by one of the twins having their mouth open and the other having their mouth closed. From being able to deal with the plethora of aliens and Into the Future and Cats of the Cosmos, to being a great juggler of black enemies, to the cool design origins of and being reflected in their design, Twinstars ends up here in this position of the list. Here at 9th place with 166.5 points is the lady with the bourgeois attitude, this being Mercia. Mercia is a dedicated anti-traitless dodger who is able to wave on her second hit. Fans of Mercia are a big fan of the fact that she's one of the few non-limited dedicated anti-traitless Ubers with her somewhat impressive 40% dodge chance. For some, this impressive dodge chance had allowed them to beat several of the Manic bosses by preventing them from actively pushing beyond her, especially Manic Mohawk, as her wave is able to take huge chunks of the Teacher Bear's health. As for her design, fans enjoy her smug attitude, with her pompous laugh whenever she attacks, along with the Robo Butler that follows her around. Said Robo Butler acting very professionally compared to Mercia's carefree attitude. While Mercia may not be the most popular unit, fans of her enjoy her bourgeois attitude, along with the fact that she's one of the few dedicated anti-traitless Ubers that exist in this game, giving her a rather valuable niche in some situations. Zapping her way into the 8th spot comes Thundia, who had scored 195.5 points. Thundia's kit is rather simple, as she is simply an anti-red nuker. Thundia being said anti-red nuker allows her to deal with huge swaths of these enemies. While Courier may have stolen some of the thunder from her spotlight, fans still enjoy the fact that she's able to bring a lot of value in red heavy stages. Fans think of her origins being based on Raijin, the god of thunder in Japanese mythology, and how her similarities with Windy being based on Fuijin makes these two share a lot of connections. I'm gonna be real, I was not really given much to discuss when it comes to Thundia, so to pad out the time, check out this concept art of both Thundia and Windy. I think it's neat that we have access to a ton of the concept art for many units in this game. Anyways, fans of Thundia enjoy the fact that she is capable of blowing up a ton of red enemies, on top of her origins being based on Raijin from Japanese myth. Coming in at number 7 is the rather skilled archer, Huntress Taran, with 283.5 points. She is able to slow red and alien enemies for 4 seconds, or 4.8 seconds with treasures, is a Colossus Slayer, can Savage Blow, and has Freeze and Weaken immune, on top of Strong in her true form. Fans of Taran are in a similar boat to Twin Star fans in the fact that they're amazing for Into the Future and Cats of the Cosmos, being able to keep groups of aliens slowed for a while, and being able to have a lot of extra stats against them in their true form. Her Savage Blow is also a fun gamble, as if she's able to activate it, her damage output will spike through the roof. Fans also enjoy the fact that she's rather cheap, only costing 3,000 and having a rather fast cooldown of only 61.2 seconds. This allows her to be rather spammable. Fans of Taran also enjoy the fact that, compared to most units, she actually has some in-universe lore. Taran is stated to have a hunting partner who travels with a beast in her Japanese description. On top of the hunting club combo shows that Ururan is her hunting partner, giving lore to a unit that most units in this game just don't have. Her overall design compared to most of the other Galaxy Gals is also rather tame, compared to say Windy or Thundia, something a few fans enjoy, seeing as she actually has a full set of clothes on. The Hunter aesthetics are able to convey her skill as one, especially in her true form, sporting a fur hat, a fur cape, and her fur ankle warmers around her boots. All of the factors above, from her usage as a generally good anti-alien red unit, to her cool lore and design, these aspects give Taran a solid fan base and how she ended up at this point in the ranking. Shining in 6th place is the legend rare of the set, Headmistress Xian with 293 points. Xian is a simple unit, having an LD of 200 to 550 with a rather high base speed stat who is able to deal rapid attacks with insane damage against red and floating enemies. Given her simple kit, many people who use her enjoy the fact that she's capable of blitzing so many enemies, especially in the early and mid game. Her LD also makes an enemy like Professor A much easier to deal with, as she can easily juggle them around. As for her design, fans enjoy the outfits that she wears and how they each contrast with each other in terms of color design, with the first form being brighter colors with gold and white in her first form, with the darker colors of red and black being the primary color scheme for her second form. The sharp contrast of colors allows both forms to stand out in their own unique ways. Xian may be the legend rare of the set, but clearly some of the standard Ubers have outshone her, but she still has enough fans, either through her powerful LD spam to her design allowed her to reach all the way to 6th place. Coming in on a hovercraft with 310.5 points at 5th place is Ku. Ku is strong against red and black enemies and is immune to weaken. Regular and ultra talents, she is able to gain a much wider range of abilities and relic targeting. Ku used to be a unit that was just seen as alright, but once her Ultra Talents were added, her popularity soared through the roof. Her Ultra Talents gave her Surge Immunity, Relic Targeting, and TBA Reduction. The latter two were the more hyped Ultra Talents, as one of them made her an extremely good counter to relics, and the other fixed her really long attack frequency, effectively doubling her DPS. This TBA reduction also allowed Ku to be a great generalist with 20,000 DPS alone, and her targets further boosting this DPS value. As for her design influence, she is inspired by Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, who is perhaps the most famous Chinese mythical character. Wukong, being popular as he is, has made some enjoy Ku for this aspect alone. Ku's personality is something fans of her also enjoy, having a rather tomboyish personality. Ku is also a rather relevant unit in the community, specifically the fact that Ku is one of Lucas the Fourth's favorite units, so his influence has definitely made Ku a relevant figure in some shape or form in the community. From being an excellent wielder to Ultra Talents, to her Wukong origins, to her tomboyish personality, Ku has quite the fan base, and her fans have managed to get her up to the number 5th spot on this list. Coming in with an evil look in her eyes at 4th place with 393 points is Lilin. Lilin is strong against Angels and Aku, with guaranteed shield piercing and a level 1 surge that spawns between 150 to 750 range. While Lilin does target Angels, most know her as being one of the best anti-Aku Ubers in the game, and her abilities hold up to that reputation. Guaranteed shield piercing alone allows her to deal a ton of damage and possibly knock back a ton of Aku enemies, but her surge can easily juggle the likes of Fallen Bear to instantly kill them. Those that got her while progressing through the Aku realms can tell you that she's an amazing unit to have within them due to being able to kill so many enemies at once. Fans also enjoy her design, which really brings out her more demonic character traits. With her devilish smirk, to her maniacal laugh, to her heavy use of eyeliner with pink eyes, to even having a mechanical tail that is similar to how devils in media have pitchfork-like tails. People have also noticed her design shares a ton of similarities with Morrigan from Darkstalkers, both having a very similar color schemes and similar Hime haircut. Lilin, consumed by darkness by her deal with the devils, has made her into a powerful foe against them, and many fans have also been drawn to her for this reason, allowing Lilin to secure the number 4 spot on this list. Coming in with her gigantic Niax caliber here in 3rd place with 416.5 points is Kalisa. Kalisa is an anti-angel rusher, dealing massive damage. Kalisa is easily one of the most popular Galaxy Gals, and for good reason. Her being a very powerful anti-angel rusher allows those who used her to crush many angel enemies to the bone. One enemy that many have trouble with is Wing Piggy, but seeing as she can outrange her, Wing Piggy is much less of a problem for those that have Kalisa. Speaking of her being a rusher, compared to most other rushers in the game, her standing range is extremely high for a rusher, standing at 350 range. Most rushers don't break the 250 range mark, but Kalisa having such a high range stat allows her to immediately get in and deal tons of damage very quickly. Fans of her enjoy this aspect of the unit, seeing as she has such a massive range stat, she is able to stay alive a lot longer than the majority of rusher units. Her design takes a lot of inspiration from Hatsune Miku, with her pigtails and her true form even sharing a similar outfit to the Hatsune Miku's version 2 append design. Fans of Kalisa also enjoy her rather interesting lore, as she has a tendency to banish individuals to the underworld, and the fact that she herself was banished to the underworld one spring. Lore that is further explored in her tropical and Easter variants. Kalisa, being a rather powerful Galaxy Gal, has garnered a lot of fans, and the fact that her lore and character design inspirations have made her one of the most popular Galaxy Gals, and thus place her here at the number 3 spot. Calling upon the power of the wind rises Windy all the way up here to 2nd place with 655 points. Windy, much like Thundia before, is a rather simple unit, dealing massive damage against floating enemies in her true form. However, what makes her different and why she is so much more popular than her is the fact that she has an Ultra Form, and specifically what this Ultra Form enables. This Ultra Form changes her from dealing massive damage to insane damage against floating, which allows her to deal an absurd amount of damage to floating enemies, especially when strengthened. She is able to basically make any floating enemy a straight up joke, and is one of the best options for adherence to virtue, being able to easily nuke Sorectis. Her extremely high range of 510 also allows her to be a very strong generalist on top of her absurd strength against floating enemies. Just as Thundia is based on Raijin, to match is Windy being based on Fujin, the god of wind in Japanese myth. The plug-ins of both Thundia and Windy also match up with each other, further cementing this connection. A rather obscure piece of Windy lore that a fan of hers thinks is neat is that she actually has a stuffed bunny named Mr. Bunny, and it was even mentioned in the first run of the Galaxy Gal set. This was removed, however, but sometime later, a Pono staff member drew this bunny being held with Windy as a part of a White Day piece, which also features Thundia. Some also find the gigantic vacuum she uses as a weapon to be rather humorous, akin to Luigi's main weapon in the Luigi's Mansion series being a vacuum cleaner. Windy having an insane ultra form, being able to turn floating enemies into a joke, to her interesting lore, to even her amusing weapon of choice has certainly made Windy a very popular Galaxy Gal. However, she does just miss out on that number 1 spot in the list. The most popular Galaxy Gal, bouncing her way here to the first spot with an astounding 936.5 points is Kai. Kai is a melee tanker who specializes in floating and Aku resistance. Kai easily is the most popular Galaxy Gal, and for good reason. One of these being absurdly good at being a melee tank unit, sporting an obscene health stat and dealing a humongous amount of damage to anything she hits. Even before her talents, she was already one of the most popular Galaxy Gals, but her talents gave her a new role as a shield piercer, and she could easily do so against a wide range of enemies, like Fallen Bear, Gigando, and even some of the malevolent cats due to her gigantic health pool. Her floating resist on top of her gargantuan health pool also allows her to be an extremely viable unit for adherence to virtue, but that is even the hardest stage where she is valuable. She had also received Ultra Talents right before the poll was conducted, and one of those Ultra Talents was Aku targeting. This Ultra Talent opened the floodgates to her being able to effectively be immortal in most Aku stages, and could easily kill an absolute majority of Aku enemies with no issues. When paired with her curse immunity, she became one of the best options in easily the hardest stage in the game, this being Heinous Road. This is because of her just being able to tank an unimaginable amount of damage. Another thing Kai fans enjoy is her pork on rice combo with Rice Ball, giving a small defense boost. This is notable as it can also pair up with the cheating heart combo with Gravici. This combo is easily one of the best combos in the game, being a 2-slot research medium combo, so for 3 slots, you can spam units much faster and give them a 10% defense boost. Even outside this combo, having a 10% extra health on a unit like Kai boosts her health by an obscene amount, especially against her targets. As for her design, many fans like the rather fun design she has going on, with her comically sized hat to her frilly dress to even her pig mechs of Tauntaun and Borborg. Personality-wise, she is described as an airhead, not really having that much of a care in the world, and the only thing that's really on her mind is finding a nice guy to date. Fans of her find her personality endearing, and her animations reflect this carefree attitude, with a wide smile on her face as she charges into battle. Kai being an absurdly good melee tanker with a titanic health pool and damage stats, especially against both floating and Aku, her flashy design, to even her carefree personality, all of these attributes have made Kai into the most popular of the Galaxy Gal units. These community ranking videos are always fun to do, as I enjoy reading what everyone thinks of each unit, but these take a long while to do. But if you want to see another one of these community rankings, then be sure to get me to 35,000 subscribers, and while you're down there, be sure to give this video a like and comment down below your favorite Galaxy Gal, as I would be interested to read all about it. Also, shout out to the following channel members: Dr. Deadly, Potato King, Gross Cat the Best, Fairly Grover, Ian Dean, Megamix, and Uberlist for being silver members or higher. Becoming a channel member supports what I do in a way that helps keep the lights on. Also, channel members receive an exclusive role on my Discord server, for which you can find a link to in the description down below. Before I sign out, however, I suppose I should address the elephant in the room that has not been discussed the entire video, specifically something that had been mentioned a lot in why people enjoy a unit, in the form of a montage. Take it away, Editor Me.